Okay, let's get this thing going. That's on. I'm gonna get the song going. All right?
Okay, let's do it. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's bring it. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it. Woo! Go, Nick. Nick, I need it this morning. Give me some dance. Yeah. Woo! I love it. Go, Nick. Go. I'll dance in my mind with you. If you could find your seats, that'd be great. Again, love the energy and the vibe. But I think you're going to really, truly enjoy the presentations today more than me up on stage. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 1MC. I want to tell you something. It's so important to be here every week. And I was sharing it with Joel. Some of you, again, we've been together about a year and a half, known each other, seeing it grow, our network grow, connections. And I was in Vegas for business and also to watch a Raiders game. I won't talk about that. But it was, the flights were all delayed and almost canceled. And I was able to text people in the 1MC to offer support, and Trev's always amazing. But I was determined to get here because I didn't want to miss it. That's really, when you think about the magnitude of that. And so finally, I had to run the fastest I've ran probably since I was 12 through the airport to get on the final boarding for a plane to get home. So excuse me if I'm a little jittery. I got in about 2 in the morning, but I needed to be here because you are all important. This work we do together is really important. And then also the presenters today it's going to be pretty mind-blowing. It's always fantastic, but today we have a new business startup prototype that I'm really excited for you to learn about. And then something new that's just, to me, super innovative. I'm very excited. So we have 2 presenters. And so without further ado, where is Chris at? How can I not find you, Chris? Oh, with the shirt. How could I not find Chris? Chris, come on up. All right, Chris. This is here. So Chris is going to take us through a little bit of a journey, and then I think there's a YouTube video. So anyway, enjoy.
One moment. We'll see. Perfect. That's all right. So I don't have a PowerPoint presentation, but I have a website that I've put together with some pictures. I brought my website, and you guys can check it out. It's mrtemperatureswitch.com. There's some pictures and videos on here that I'll talk through. So my name is Chris Mills, and my invention is Mr. Temperature Switch. It relates to outdoor cooling water misters. So the audience, who uses water misters or would consider using water misters? Excellent. So who invented the light bulb? Yes, and who invented the light switch? I looked it up, but it doesn't matter. But what good is a light bulb without a light switch? So my story is I worked a 9 to 5 job, and I would get home at 5 and the house was hot because I didn't have air conditioning. So I was using water misters to cool my porch and patio. And I needed them to come on around noon or 2 when I was at work. So I needed a system. So this is where it started. Is I bought the solenoid valve to control the water. This is a 12-volt system, and I started with a temperature controller. This is actually the one I started with, and then I upgraded to a different temperature controller. I still use this one. as you can see. And then I went to another smaller controller, and then I found this is a temperature controller. It senses the temperature, and then it sends electricity to the valve, so you can control your water flow. It's either on or off when the temperature is set, and you can set it right here. And then the next evolution is I built these kits, and they either have black or white wires, and then I modified the temperature plugs so everything fits together with these plugs right here. And I use 3 of these at my house, in the back, the front, and the side of my house, and it works great. And then somebody says you should build these and sell them, so I built 25 of each kit. This plugs right into your water misters, the temperature sensor, and the system works great. I've been using it for about 6 years at my house. And then in the last year, I was out telling people about this, and somebody says, I want a small one with batteries and no wires. So I came up with a concept of a little tiny thing with an adjustable knob on the top of it right here. And then through some technology evolution, I went from this controller. I bought a 3D printer and made some boxes, and I bought some valves. I tried some different types of controllers, and then I ended up learning about digital electronics. And through each of those steps, this one's taken apart so you can see it, but once it all fits inside together, then it ends up going into this box, a temperature activated solar paneled controller. This screws right onto your garden hose, or I have this one which connects to the 1/4 inch quick connect tubing, and I'm still kind of prototyping this one out. So I'm not sure where I am on time, but I have a video that kind of, does anybody have any questions? Does it make sense? What? Yes.
So how much in the temperature did it drop when you turned that on at your house?
Water mist can lower at about 20 degrees, but when I have it with the timer and the switch, it goes on for about 1 or 2 minutes and then off for about 1 or 2 minutes, and it drops it significantly. I don't even need air conditioning in my house. It keeps it cold enough, and it doesn't run continuously, so it doesn't accumulate water, but I would say 20 degrees could be a good guess. So I used AI to make a commercial. We'll see how this one goes. I'm not sure where the volume is on it.
Imagine a summer day where the heat is relentless, but your outdoor space remains a cool oasis. That's the
We
magic
don't have sound, but that's okay.
of the Mr. Temperature
Is
switch.
it working?
This
Sound
innovative
was
device
working, but
automatically turns your water misters on and off at your desired temperature, ensuring your patio, porch, or pool stays refreshingly cool. No more sweating it out while you entertain guests or relax with a book. But it doesn't stop there. By keeping your outdoor areas cool, you're also helping to lower your air conditioning bill. Less strain on your AC means more savings in your pocket. Plus, installation is a breeze. Just set it up and let it do the work for you. Enjoy your summer without the heat and make every moment outdoors a comfortable one.
So where I'm at is I have 50 of these built, and I haven't sold any. I've given a couple away, and this one is still kind of in the design process to get it going. And this is a solar panel because somebody said I don't have electricity out where the horses are, so I need a solar panel version. So I built this one, which works with this kit, but then somebody said I want something smaller, so then that's how we ended up at this one. And not sure how much time we've got. Any questions? Does it make sense? Yes? I looked up patents. Somebody started it in California, and then it was abandoned, so all of the information is public information, and they went really tech heavy into the programming of the chip. And my attorney says that it's too generic to patent. You can't patent it has to be more specific to patent it. But I have claimed the name Mr. Temperature Switch as an effective trademark with the website and claimed it that way. So it's more of a claiming of the name and a product than the actual patent of combining a temperature valve and a switch. But up here it says it's the first and only temperature controlled mist system. So I've looked for other things and there's nothing else like it on the market. So I feel like it's an untapped market for all the different industries. There's all the different states, California and Arizona and anywhere it's hot. And I've been to all the wineries, golf courses, and most of the restaurants, and everybody loves it. And people tell me come back next spring and we'll buy one and go from there. And let's see, so I put together some videos. They're you can watch them at your own time. This is a demonstration explanation. I'm not sure where I'm at on time, but oh yeah, here. This is one of the kits that I built, and then the mini solar panel is this one. I don't have pictures of it up yet, but it does work. I have tested it, but it was hard to hold the camera and the temperature gun and the heat gun because it was too cold. So it was last week, so I was using the heat gun to heat it up, and it works, but I couldn't hold everything and video it. So I'm on TikTok and YouTube and all the other platforms, and this is one of my punchlines. It says it's better than smart, it's automatic. Because somebody said I want it to be smart and phone. I'm like, no, just keep it simple. And we're going to revolutionize your outdoor cooling with Mr. Temperature Switch. And there's a different spelling whether you're in Europe or USA. And then this says throw out your air conditioner, use Mr. Temperature Switch. Yes, 2 questions. We'll go here first.
There must be, there are automated on-off mechanisms for misting currently, but they're not determined by temperature, is that correct?
Correct.
So you're the only one that does that.
Correct.
This has a lot of potential, we all think.
Do you have a good idea about how much water the system uses?
I use 3 strands that are kind of medium to long length at my house, and my water bill went up about $15 in the summer.
That's awesome.
So not a lot of water and not a lot of expense.
Could you use this for fire suppression as we have fires in the summer?
No. There's already systems out there for California. They're hard piped to provide enough water for fire suppression, and this doesn't put out enough water. And the temperature sensor isn't quite what you'd need for water or fire suppression. So that system's already well stocked, well tapped, well industrialized.
Have you contacted PG&E? I just got an email from them saying, hey, here's ways to lower your electricity bill.
No, I have not talked to PG&E.
So if you could get them on board and say, hey, here's a way to lower the electricity bill, they send it out to the customers, and there's other PG&Es, other electric companies might be something to look at.
3 questions. The idea just came to me yesterday. I should make this into a nonprofit, and I should make this into a nonprofit. Use the money to help people to lower their heating.
Why would you want to do a nonprofit?
Well,
You could absolutely profit off
or
of
a
this.
for-profit. I'm just trying to
Profit
feel out
first, then nonprofit.
every idea.
How much does one of those go for?
I would sell the first 50. I would sell these at $50 each. They're online for $100, and then I think this one would sell for $100 or maybe even more. But
Did you already say what the square footage it would cover?
it depends on how many water misters you put. They're every 2 feet. I connected 30 nozzles together, which is 3 kits, and it still worked just fine. I found that I was trying to buy and sell these, and I wasn't making any sales, so I started importing and exporting the water nozzles. I sold 20 kits late summer, and I realized I make a lot more money selling the water nozzle kits that's shown on the board, because couldn't really sell these yet, but I was selling a bunch. There was more questions in the audience. Yes.
Switch. There we go. So a couple thoughts. Maybe focus on just one style of product to begin with, say the photovoltaic switch on off. And then it sounds a little bit like you've kind of got the engineering and that sort of development. You're down that path, and it sounds like you naturally can go down that path, your personality. But maybe not marketing and sales so much.
That's correct.
And maybe you should explore either partnering or finding mentors or somehow talking to others and focus on that a little bit. One of the ways you may consider doing that is once you have a more refined product, is maybe send them free to some of the places you think might end up buying 5 or 6 of them, such as golf courses, wineries, outdoor venues. Give them the first one free and then tell them, here, you can buy more as you need them at my website, la-da-da-da, that kind of thing. But it sounds like a great product. Keep going.
Thank you. Yes.
So
sorry,
that's okay.
you had
I
the
had my
mic.
microphone before Joel. Couple thoughts. One would be partnering with somebody that does websites and SEO and stuff to get your website to represent the quality of the product, but also to get the SEO out there. So that way, as people are searching for these things, they can stumble across you easier. I know there's a lot of us that do websites up here that could definitely help out with that. The other thought, to kind of piggyback on what he was saying with electric, is maybe partnering with some of the local HVAC companies that do air conditioning, because as far as I know, misters and stuff and keeping that outdoor unit cool could reduce how hard it's running. And so, you know, if it costs $10 or $15 in water, but it saves $100 in electricity, you could really be on to something. And if you partnered with somebody locally, my thought would be that they could offer that and benefit both of you. So.
First of all, you remind me of Iron Man, constantly tinkering, enhancing the situation. So that's really cool. I appreciate that. What do you think, aside from marketing and sales, what do you think are like the next few things that you can do to bring this to market? Like what's preventing that from scaling?
Professionalizing the image on the website is key. To have good videos, good everything. So what people see on the website that's where I need help. A website and social media. Yeah. I don't know enough topics to say all the things that I need help with. But yeah.
Yeah, on that note, there's a lot of different things that a lot of different routes you could go, and it gets overwhelming quick, and it also dilutes the effort that you put into any given path. If you're going to utilities and homeowners and also golf courses and out of state and this and that, and
Dog shelters, dog kennels.
oh my goodness gracious. So part of this beginning stage is business planning and business modeling. Where's the low-hanging fruit? Where can I make money the quickest so that you can do whatever you want in the future? Nonprofit, more money you have, the more flexible you get. So that's my advice is always to look for the easiest markets where you'll make the most money with the least effort. And that's just me. Maybe you want to go nonprofit and home ownership, and that's going to be a lot more like face-to-face, individual clients, slow money trickle. But those are the kind of decisions that are important to think about now, so that you can really target what you're doing instead of a more scattershot approach. And that's going to take mentorship, which we have in this room, you know. But this is the time to do that kind of planning. Who do I want to be targeting first? Who do I want to be targeting a year from now? How do I want to build that out? How's 5 years going to look? You can get that all down, take your time with it, and it'll make everything a lot more clear.
Thank you.
I just also wanted to make a comment. It sounds like it might be helpful to you. It was helpful for me. I recently did a business class called Co-Starters. I don't know when the next one is, but they'll have them periodically. And they make you go through kind of where you are in your business plan process and then ask all these questions that we don't know the answer to yet, but they help you find them. And I think something like that would be really helpful, so keep an eye out for those.
Thank you.
It can get overwhelming. I've started like I think 7 businesses and most of them failed, except for the last couple. So I think that's really sound advice. Getting the business plan, but like, how do you even do a business plan? AI can be. I saw you're using AI. AI can be really helpful. Classes, learning, mentors, humans. That's super dope. But also books. A couple books that helped me on the path, just thinking about my business, setting it up from an operations standpoint, was E-Myth Revisited. Because sometimes like we're really good at a thing, but the business side is kind of challenging. We might be an operator or something like that, and then that might help kind of identify some of the things that you might be missing, so you know who you need to connect with as far as a mentor is concerned. Sales and marketing is obviously something that you mentioned. You mentioned the website being really important, but the ops and the finance part is also important. There's like really good bookkeepers in this room. Profit First is another book. So if I were to do it all over again, I would like really hone in on E-Myth Revisited and Profit First, and then just basically use that as my foundation for me to understand what else I need. Hopefully that helps.
When you said earlier, you said it runs on 12 volt?
The plug-in version runs on 12 volt. This is a power supply that plugs into this. So this is a 12 volt system. This panel is a 12 volt system. It has a little battery pack on the one I use at home. So that's 12 volts. This one is 3.3 volts.
Okay, so as
But
far as...
you could use a car battery to power this if you didn't have a plug-in available.
Gotcha. And so that wall wart that you held up, that's just a converter from the 110 to 12 volt scenario
Yes.
in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a common 12 volt power supply.
So a 12 volt car battery, garden, lawnmower battery type scenario?
I used that for a while. I used a car battery to power this, and then I used my solar panel to charge my battery because I was testing. Somebody had horses, and they didn't have power out there, but they said they wanted this one. And then when I went home, I started and then ended up going with this version, which is also solar paneled. So there's 2 solar paneled versions, but this one's ready to buy right now. I've got this one with the solar paneled kit, so that one is ready to go. This one is not ready to sell yet.
And so where would one find that kit if we're all eager to buy one yesterday?
On my website or Etsy.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Or Facebook and Craigslist.
All right, Trev, you want to ask the last question?
So, Chris, thank you so much.
I've got a music video. Well,
Oh, you've got he's got a music video. Do we need to turn the lights down? Do we have to get? Should I put the fog machine
stand up
on?
and dance if you want. It's pretty catchy.
Before you start the video, though, Chris, real quick, how can this community help you?
So, somebody said, "What's my goal?" My goal is to build one for myself, and I did that. So anything is just bonus round at this point. And I need help on professionalizing it. And somebody said, "I'll be your funder, and I want 10% of the profit." And I said, "That's great." And then he helped a little, and I never heard from him again. So I'm the only one on this. So I've got 100% of the whatever to share with people that want to partner with me or take this to the next step. And I've been to other businesses, and right away they just give me a price, and I like, "Did you even see the product? Do you even know what I'm doing?" And they're like, "Here's your number." So I need help to take this to the next level or figure out what I'm doing with it, because right now I've already accomplished my goal, and anything beyond this is just sharing with the community and the potential profits. So anybody that wants to partner that doesn't want me to pay them right up front, like an hourly rate, like that doesn't work. But if you say, "Let's sell some stuff and make some money," then I would say, definitely. Let's see if this.
Hot winds blow like a dragon's sigh. Sweat's dripping as the sun rides high. But here comes the savior, a clever glitch. It's the magic of Mr. Temperature Switch. Flip it on when the heat's insane. Misters flow like a cooling rain. No need to lift a single twitch.
Chris, thank you so much.
Praise the wizard.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here.
Mr.
I love
Temperature
this. There's so much going on this tour. You were obviously someone who loves to tinker and invent and engineering facilities super exciting. So I think there's some really great feedback today of ideas as to how you can maybe find a partner that can help with the marketing or the business side of things. And you can keep doing this and making products awesome. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. Big hand for Chris. We're going to take a brief moment while we change out. We have a second presentation you're not going to want to miss. So don't go anywhere. Grab refresh your coffee. We'll get started right away. Okay, just give us one.
Flip it on when the heat's insane. Mr.
Do you guys have an adapter?
Like power?
No.
I do. Yeah, I do.
I always have the wrong adapter, so. Always. Dude, when I was traveling around doing training stuff, it didn't matter what adapter I brought. If I brought them all, whatever podunk agency I was at would have a different thing to plug into.
I think that's going to be. Is that going to be high enough for both of us?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Is the skull too much? No. Huh? Is like the skull too much? Did you put a second dip in?
No. Can you tell?
Only because I know you.
Only because you know me.
Oh, we're in business.
Yeah, I think that's the one we want. Oh, that's extended.
I don't know, dude.
Unplug it and do it again. It was on extended. Is that what we want? Extended or mirroring?
Oh.
No.
Dude, it's been doing this thing where I have two screens up and I don't know how to go between them.
No worries.
You probably know better than I do. Oh, stop extending?
There you go. Perfect.
Dude, that's scary. Dude, how did it lose? No, but if you need to be, you can hold it for me. Dude, I'm telling you, like, somehow it split my screen between two screens, and like my notes will only pop up on the back. Yeah.
I'm presenting first.
He probably is a holder. I can just speak into this one.
Yeah.
Or you can hold it too if you want.
I'll just speak into it. Yeah.
Just want to be pretty close if you can.
Yep. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. You're a tall guy.
I got a raspy hoarse voice today.
You brother? No.
From another mother.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
What's that?
All right, let's do it. I'm very excited. All right, everyone, if you could take your seats, grab some coffee, more coffee. We stay caffeinated at the 1MC. All right, I'm very excited for this. All right. Look at this, still buzzing. Isn't this awesome?
This is a great place.
It's a great place.
This is so
It's
much better.
great. Yeah, I know,
than
right?
B&I.
Right, it is, isn't it? All right, everyone, if you could take your
So much
seats.
better.
We have our second presentation of the day. And I met Ron happenstance at an event, actually at the White Rabbit.
Yeah, you actually met me and Simon both. Simon just
That's
had to
right.
go pick up his daughter.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see Simon. Anyway, we met at an event, and that's what I was sharing with you all in the ecosystem. Gathering you all, being here is so important because it's really where we meet people that we otherwise would never meet. And so White Rabbit's been a great partner there. For a lot of events, and they're part of our, definitely integral part of our ecosystem. But anyway, that's where we met, and we got talking like we do.
Yeah.
And then it's moved along. And so I am not going to take up time because I'm really, really excited for Ron and Simon to present. So Ron and Simon with Firefront and Outlaw Robotics. I'm out there.
All right.
Okay, entertain us.
Yeah, sounds great. So, guys, my name's Ron Gordon. I have been in finance and trying to figure out what I wanted to do for like the last 20 years. It's been a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but really with a dedication towards being able to raise my family here in the Rogue Valley. And then about a year ago, I had open heart surgery. After that, I kind of was in a situation where my life just collapsed in on itself, and I really wanted to figure out what it was that I was doing. When I first met Kim, I was on a completely different track. And then I ran into Simon, who we both went to college at SOU in the economics department. Funny thing is we're similar height. We have children that are similar age. And we were both studying the same thing, economics. And we were like the old guys in the economics department that actually read the material and argued with the professors. It was great. And so I just by happenstance ran into him. And he was onto something that I really thought was important, had thought for a long time, trying to figure out how to get the software and hardware marriage of AI together. And so once we started talking, there was a lot more going on. So I abandoned my stuff immediately and said, Simon, prove it to me, and I'll quit my job tomorrow. He proved it to me, and I ended up in Ukraine. So. Ukraine!
Yeah, and that's a lot of people ask me, and I think ask Ron, like, what are two dudes that were kind of at their own proverbial rock bottoms doing in Ukraine with, like, you know, no real military stuff going on or anything. So my background, I'm not born and raised. I feel like I'm born and raised in the Rogue Valley, but I went to high school here. And then sort of started a track on, oh God. I'm like, he's the lead singer, I'm the keyboardist, so just bear with me. So my background accidentally became Wildland Fire, and through that, sort of after graduating college with Ron, we also graduated at the exact same time, which is just kind of weird. I went back to fire, and just so happened to get involved with drones when drones were becoming a big thing with forestry and basically everything. So around 2018, 2019. And that led me into a very sort of niche career in fire tech,
which ended abruptly with me being driven out of a company that I spent 4 years building. So that was my rock bottom. We all have our rock bottom. And the idea for this came from feeling really bad about myself and then suddenly being like, well, why? And then right around that time, I got a news article that flashed over about the ways they're using drones in combat and in combat support missions in Ukraine. And if Ron forgets it, I actually pitched him a different business first, but this was just nagging at me, and we slowly just shifted till I bought him a ticket to Ukraine, and we were there 2 months later. So what this is we're focused on robotics, specifically for wildland fire applications, but across the civil sector. I guess I could have gone to this first, but so our trip was 2 weeks, and really we were there to vet one platform, which is that tan one, and just see what other dual-use technology was there that we could use to kind of push this mission forward. And really what we came away with is partnering with these dual-use defense tech companies and providing them sort of the pathway to another revenue stream that they don't have right now. And in the essence of time, we can talk all about the economics of what's going on there, the technology and all that. But really what we found was de-risked robotics with tens of thousands of hours of combat missions in some of the most like horrific conditions, which then meant that they could operate in everything south of that, which is our market that we're addressing. So the product, these are sort of medium-sized robotic platforms, about 1,000 pounds of total payload. And what really stood out to us was, one, they just work, they're simple, and they're really cheap. So they're coming in well under $50,000 a platform. And so from that, there was nothing else like it that I was looking for in sort of the US market. So we created our own category. And so we named it small to medium, rugged, unmanned ground systems. And really what that is robotics that operate outside. So we're taking it off like manufacturing floors and taking these as just really platforms that carry any payload that you want with a level of autonomy really built into it. So it's really plug and play. So really our product philosophy is standardized platforms, modular payloads, mission-oriented autonomy, and parallel vertical development. So if it can carry food to the front lines in Ukraine, it can carry food to firefighters, it can carry tools to construction workers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we saw a scalable roadmap there. So this is what that looks like. So a lot of it crosses across all our verticals there at the bottom. And then with each vertical, we can scale with specialized payloads and specialized autonomy missions, both in-house and with our partners. And this is sort of our monetization strategy. We can go more into that in detail, but our business model follows that almost directly. And when we get into ecosystem expansion, it actually copy and paste our complete workflow into smaller or larger platforms. And this is where we're at. So field-proven hardware, operational durability, lots of US customer engagement, early payload and mission validation, and we're ready for manufacturing here in the States with sort of a licensing fee from our partners. And we have external credibility. We have early market traction across most of our verticals. And from that, we're sort of developing into a more sort of structured partnership. And this is what we need. And so this is kind of where we're at in a very transparent way. And I've been sick for a long time, so my voice is very hoarse. So just putting that out there. I'm not sick now, I just haven't recovered, so.
Yeah, so that's us. That's Outlaw Robotics in a nutshell, guys. It's super cool. Yeah, it was incredible to be in Ukraine, guys, absolutely. Oh, yeah?
You mentioned something about, well, the whole portion of it was about Ukraine in the battlefield and modern combat. So if we look at Ukraine and their combat, we can see that this drone warfare has taken a crazy jump in the last 18 to 24 months. How are you able to keep up with that?
Okay, so what you're asking essentially is how are we going to be able to consistently have manufacturing or the technological changes. The cool thing is that what we're doing, so think of this, I like to think of it as the Willys Jeep, okay? So the Willys Jeep was the backbone, the mule of World War II. It came in a crate, it was dropped on the battlefield, and it was put together in 5 minutes, right? And what happened is eventually it was commercialized and sold to the civilian market, right? Rugged, able to go anywhere, do anything, and it revolutionized the way that we did a lot of things in the rugged terrain of the West, right? This is going to be the same thing as they continue to improve their units in Ukraine. It doesn't really matter. The unit that they have right now is perfect for what we're looking at, and as long as we are able to get it here in the United States and start the manufacturing process here, we're not going to have to worry too much about it. In fact, we might even be able to help them by allowing them the capacity to overproduce certain units in order to help with that effort.
Yeah, and I would just add to that it's not so much that we're trying to keep up, but we've just kind of jumped in with them. So a key part of this is like very important how we structured our partnership. So it's a joint venture here in the U.S. between a Ukrainian engineering company and what I would consider a last mile sort of business development and technological company. But really we specialize in how to get these into new markets. That's my background. So I don't see ourselves as like, we're not a reseller, we're not a customer. Like they're our actual partners. So like last night until like what, midnight?
Yeah.
1 o'clock we were in a design meeting with them, iterating on, how to change this rapidly to enter the U.S. market, and then the other half of my night was spent, how do we organize that? So, yeah.
So you've heard the saying, the saying, 1 foot in the black.
I do.
How is this going to be able to, if you are on a fire crew, how would this help you fighting the fire? How would it help if somebody gets surrounded by flames or whatever, take in the shake and bakes? What are 3 ways this will help fire crews?
Yeah, that's a great question. I know this isn't very popular, and I used to have to shy away from this in other unmanned companies that I worked with. But really, it pulls the fire crew out of those circumstances altogether. And I don't say replaces, but when we were first introducing drones, everyone was like, oh, you're taking our jobs, you're doing all that. It's like, no. We're doing the dull, dirty, and dangerous stuff, so you can do the other stuff you want to do. So for this, without trying to sell too much vaporware, the goal is really to get to a place where 4 of these can work together under 1 firefighter and take the place of a 10 to 20 man crew and really engage the fire while the firefighters are off at a safe distance. And like part of the time that we were in Ukraine was spent with the soldiers that are running these combat missions and learning how they're doing it, and it really mirrors what they're using these tools for.
And just right now, it already is going to take the logistical side of it. So how many people, have been in fire, and how much time you spend just running hose back and forth, or getting your tools up there, or just trying to get different materials over that terrain. This already meets that. The next iterations that we're working on are going to be incredible.
Just a question. Your involvement in this is not your technology. It's already being used in the Ukraine. Is that right? Mm-hmm. You're packaging some technology is what you're trying to do?
Yeah, so we're commercializing.
Commercializing it. So I'm looking at this list over here. Dude, that's 20 years worth of work. That's so much time and energy to do all those things. If I was looking at that, I would go, who makes ATVs already? Get rid of the manufacturing part of it. And try and partner with them bring to them. You know, you have get the license from your folks in the Ukraine or whatever, and go to somebody that's already doing it, and that way you have the credibility of the big ATV manufacturer already behind you. Because if this works, you're going to be buried. If Walmart says we want, you know, one in every store, that's what happens to guys that have great ideas, is that they get buried and they can't keep up with the demand. So it's just a thought.
No, and that's a great question. In my last company, in about 18 months, we scaled from 7 employees while developing tech to around 110 with 200 million in revenue across multiple states and 2 countries. And really it comes down to how you build your business and how you structure it. So for Ron and I to do this, yes, that's
no way.
a lot of work, but behind us is also, you know, a portion of my team from my last company, investors, 150-person Ukrainian engineering team, import-exporters. And really what it is most of these are just plug and play. So they haven't been stacked together. So as we pull in manufacturing, really we're just assembling what they already built. You know, and yeah, if we were gonna scale manufacturing, that's a whole business in itself. And that's, you know, in our broader strategy, 2 to 3 years down the line as like a special purpose vehicle or a spin-off startup. But as it is now, we're just looking, you know, how do we get the tech there? How do we, you know, secure some of these obligations we have with like the Department of Defense, various fire agencies, and really just get that first stack together. And then from there, it's just hiring the right people, good managers and stuff like that, so.
Yep, thank you, Kim. I might have already heard this because I did get the opportunity to chat with you guys in more depth with Thor at White Rabbit. But I'm curious if you can share here about the AI, which you touched on. Like, how are you utilizing AI and advanced technology to make this unique and different?
I'm gonna let you go for
Sorry,
that one.
my voice is going, so if I'm like drying out, it's just scarring, I guess, from the last week. So really, like, my strategy always with technology is partnering. So the last like time that we scaled unmanned ground vehicles, and that company is still around, BurnBot. Like, we didn't build the actual, you know, unmanned ground vehicles. We didn't build, like, you know, parts of it. So, like, to answer your question directly, we have a partner that's already solved, and like really how I got involved in this is I was working with them, and the autonomy we have just needs some tweaking and some last mile, like, mission specific payload and task type coding. But with that partner, once we have like our next step, the goal is to get beyond like, oh, thank you. 1 second. The goal is to get beyond like 1 firefighter, 1 machine, and kind of break the barrier into 1 firefighter can operate 3 machines, or 1 firefighter can operate 5, or even 1 can shepherd 10 doing multiple different roles. So that would be the evolution of it. And I don't want to say swarm because that's very much a buzzword, but what we're looking at is how do we create sort of a distributed network within our verticals that can handle more and more complex tasks and create these sort of what I would consider simple robots that can do simple tasks into complex mechanisms that can really sort of jazz up our productivity. Yeah. And then our IP lies in those partnerships and what we develop out of them and the payloads and the specific plans within those special purpose vehicles.
Do you know where the word horsepower came from? There were guys trying to sell engines, and they're trying to explain, and so they explained this will replace 10 horses.
Yeah.
So it's 10 horsepower. And so that's where the original came. I don't know if there's any equivalent that you might say this will replace this will carry stuff up the mountain that would take 10 firefighters to carry up there. This will, a replacement type of deal like horsepower, just a thought.
Just from my background, having run large-scale sort of forestry projects, we would lose about 20% of our productivity a day just off, if something broke, having to track back to where the tools were to fix it. And so the return on investment for me and working with those companies I have in the past is these can just bring those tools, whatever tool set, wherever that machine is, if it's 2 miles away, a mile away, and deliver those on demand. So for me, the return on investment, if my project's bringing in 30K a day and I have 15K in overhead, and suddenly I have a 20% increase in productivity hours based off 1 to 2 $30,000 to $40,000 machines, that's where I would see it. But really, it's hard to quantify people as a dry statistic, but if we just look at like a salary for entry-level laborer in what I would consider most of these target markets, once you're paying like the true cost of their employment, it's 60 to 85K, depending what state you're in. These systems in 6 months have a return on investment for like replacing a human. And I only feel comfortable saying that now because we can't hire fast enough in any of these verticals to even get close to the maximum capacity of the labor and workforce we need.
Oh, thank you. That was a great answer. We're gonna have one more question, and then we'll ask our famous question. All right.
Yeah, I've got a brief background in search and rescue and disaster communications. Have you guys broken into trying to look at that? I know that trying to get gear out into austere environments is really hard. Also, there's AT&T FirstNet and Verizon Frontline, doing mobile cell towers, and if there's no road, they cannot get those cows or their towels up there. So have you guys looked into that? That might be another thing, and a lot of publicity. I know that it kind of gets into the federal when you get into FirstNet, but I think that might be something really good for you guys and a lot of exposure as well.
Yeah, so that actually is one of our verticals, and the stage that we're at right now is we're actually looking for design partners and individuals that want to help us design the vehicle for each one of those verticals. So it's mission specific and it actually works, and we have the people that are in that industry helping us. The reason that we're going with fire first, obviously you guys have seen he has a ton of knowledge and has been one of the leading experts in drones in fire for a very long time. So that's our easiest entry point at this moment here in the US. But as far as the 8 verticals that we're going to be going into, we have construction, we are looking at forestry, which is a little bit different than wildland fire management. We're looking at safety, utilities. We're already partnering right now with somebody in the mining and gas. Those is what we're looking at as far as design partners and things that we can do to really make this hit the market all at once.
All right.
It already can go, I don't know the miles because I've just memorized the kilometers, but about 35 kilometers with just the camera. And they use it a lot for that on the front lines in Ukraine where they have such limited freedom of mobility to go retrieve folks who are like caught out in the open or wounded. So there's a direct application as is with the product right now within and without any added autonomy.
All right. I have one last question for you both.
Yeah.
What can we as a community do for you? Something's.
First thing is we want to be here, and we want to at least assemble the first 100 to 500 of these here in the Valley and bring jobs with that. My family's here, Ron's family's here, and so that's very important to us, and this is where we're from, so.
Yeah, and then the next part is we're looking for, like I said, design partners with individuals in some of these verticals, and we're looking to try and when we're talking about design partners, we're talking about individuals or companies that have a lot of scope and can help us get into like Knife River or maybe getting into PG. Well, you already have that, but there's some different companies, but we're looking for introductions to some of those big companies.
And to be clear, that's not like a sales pitch. That's like we're looking for the experts in a field to, who want to kind of push this technology forward and define how it looks for them, but also help us make sure that the additional payloads, the additional autonomy and capabilities actually fit what folks need. So as what I've seen fire tech do over the last 8 years being a part of it is there is such thing as tech for tech's sake, and that's a waste of everyone's time and money. So
Yeah. I'll take the bag.
So we actually have a second mug for you as well. Don't worry about that. Don't you? Oh, you guys would just share? That's fantastic. You're almost clones of each other. So perfect. All right, Ron and Simon, you guys, big hand. It's very cool. Yeah. Thank you guys for coming and sharing that with us this morning. It's really exciting, all the things that are happening out of Southern Oregon, you know. And so there are a couple other things that we were going to mention. Ian and Lori have a workshop tomorrow. Can you guys just real quick?
Absolutely. Tomorrow from 3 to 5, we have a free self-empowerment workshop. It's normally $1 million. Just kidding.
Priceless.
Anyway, we only have room for 17 people. We have, I believe, 12 people confirmed. We had a couple of cancellations. Some people got sick or whatever. They can't make it. So we have a few spots open for that. You have to tell us an RSVP for it. It's going to be held at our office. Get what you want out of life.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, you guys. And then Alan. I'm going to let Alan's got some stuff to talk about real quick regarding Entrepreneur Magazine. So I'll put that up real quick.
So, you know, I could probably get up here and lecture for like 5 hours. But
let's not do that, though.
That's right. How much time do I have? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
I'll tell you 2 minutes, which means like 5 to 10, I guess. But like,
so
we're also running over right now, so we
okay,
appreciate all your time.
Just a quickie thing, yeah. So I go by 2 names, my real name and my stage name. I'm Alan Taylor to the world. For Entrepreneur Magazine, I'm Alan Taylor. For Fortune Magazine, I'm Alan Taylor. For Inc. Magazine, Alan Taylor. For Motor Trend and Car and Driver, Popular Science Magazine, I've represented all those magazines. I owned a wrecking yard up on Vine Street. How does a guy go from Grants Pass, Oregon, with a fake name, out and represent all those magazines? I was 26, 1996, 36 years old. So I'm 65 now, so next year will be my 30th anniversary of going broke, which is great because you learn a lot, to going, all right, what's the next phase of my life? What am I going to do? And I thought, I love cars. So I was doing a car radio show, and the next thing you know, I thought, I got to get credibility. How do you get credibility in this world today? You partner with people that are credible. And then you do not betray their trust when they give you an opportunity. You overpromise and then overdeliver. So in other words, put your all into it. But so I have worked for these magazines, and then I found out, oh my God, there's so many idiots in that world. How did they get there? You've heard of the Peter Principle. They rise to their level of incompetency, right? And it's like, oh my God, this guy is so stupid. How could he possibly be the marketing director of some big giant company? Who knows? Who cares? But you know, I think I could help this guy. So I would get under people that really needed help because they were drowning, and I would show them my ideas and let them take credit for it. Who cares? Then they're like, I need that guy. You know how many times I heard when I changed a magazine, somebody'd say, I need you. And I went, what does he need about me? This thing, my ideas, my courage, the strength to just go for it. But a lot of people have great ideas. I mean, I'm listening to these ideas. They're freaking great. All of them are great ideas. I have been here a couple times and always hear great ideas. The guy with the shirt that is freaking me out, that's a great idea, right? So don't be afraid to share your ideas with other partner. Like these guys are, this is brilliant. I know I can help you. So we'll talk. But Entrepreneur Magazine, look at the cover of last month. So I was going to retire. I turned 65, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. I got rid of my car show after 32 years, been on 100 radio stations. I thought, I'm done. I just can't talk about cars anymore. I'm just done. And I also represent this magazine for the last 8 years. I do a radio show called Entrepreneur Weekly. If you go to entrepreneur.com and look for Entrepreneur Weekly, it's me. I was going to retire, and so I didn't do a show since April because I was kind of done. The president of Entrepreneur from New York City, Fifth Avenue, calls me and he goes, Alan, it's Bill. What's going on? I go, Bill, I think I'm done. I just think I'm done. I got cows now, and I'm on the board of the Main Street downtown in Grants Pass, Oregon, and I got entrepreneur stuff going on in my own life, and I told him, he goes, have you looked at the magazine lately? I go, no, to be honest, I haven't looked at it in a long time, because I don't care anymore. I'm on my own way now. I'm doing my own life. I'm being an entrepreneur. He goes, let me send you, this is the exact picture he sent me from his desk. Look what it says, America's favorite mom and pop shops, the top 150 local businesses across the U.S. today. Do you know why Entrepreneur is focusing on mom and pop shops? Because we are the backbone of America. We are going to rebuild America. You know, it's not the Walmarts anymore. It's not all those big guys. Sure, they're out there. But it's the little guys, all us little guys that have these great ideas that they will try and steal. You know they will. I feel for this guy over here, I'm like, that's such a great idea. Somebody's going to knock that off in 10 seconds. You got to protect yourself, right? So you got to know how to protect yourself, who to go talk to, and what attorneys to use. And, you know, where do you find that in Grants Pass, Oregon? So, you know, Kim invites me to this thing, and I'm like, hell yes, I'm going to go to that. First time I came, I was like, damn it, it's right on top of the radio, one of the radio shows I do. So I moved my radio show to come here to be helpful to you guys. My daughter-in-law's over here, Becky, who's just started a new business, new entrepreneur. And I'm looking at what she's done. I'm going, oh, my God, it's brilliant. Kim, please get her up on this stage. You know? I love the brilliance of what I see, of partnering ideas. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to restyle it, right? And then it's all who you know. So I'm going to be here more often, and I'm going to work with Trevor and them, and so I'll be here at your convenience.
Also, I wanted to mention, big hand for Alan. Thank you. Couple other things. Alan has been out in the world, as he mentioned, with all of those other things. And these days, Alan is spending a lot more time here trying to help build our community here, and really appreciate that. And one of the cool things that's coming up, I don't know if you're announcing it yet, but anybody out there ever considered for your business or your industry doing a podcast or thinking about doing that? He's building 4 premium executive level professional podcast studios that will be available, and he's going to make those available for people to come in that want to get into podcasting and have a voice. So again, that's just one of the projects. He's got a lot of projects.
I'm trying to follow in his footsteps with the Hive.
We're working together, so it's going to be fun. It's
right here
really
in town.
Cool, yeah, right. Just a couple blocks away, really.
I would never try and say it at your.
Oh no,
place,
man!
No, we're gonna work together.
It's a team effort.
Starting a thing called Gather. And it's the same thing, and we're going to work together because I don't have a big space like this, but we want to work together. I love this man, and God bless your father who just passed, and you and your family.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, guys.
And, you know, it is the holiday season. Big hand. Thank you, Alan. Huge asset here in our community, for sure. It is the holiday season. We do have the Christmas parade coming up on Saturday. Jerry has the Christmas Carol sing-along, basically. Come and help us lead the crowd in singing Christmas carols. So, he's trying to get there's a big effort trying to get some, what did they say in the movie? It was how the best way to spread Christmas cheer is to sing loud so all can hear, right? You all seen Elf, right? Yeah, okay. So Jerry's got some flyers for that. We hope to see you at the Christmas parade. Thank you, guys. Hey, y'all have a good week, okay? We'll see you next week.